Happy fall, y'all! The cool weather is finally here and it's starting to feel like fall. If you're new here, I'm Stephanie Miller with ILYBDesigns.com. After creating the fall centerpiece for my dining room table in my last video, I loved it so much I found myself going in my dining room just to look at all the beautiful fall colors. So I got inspired to create some more fall decor to add around my home. If you missed the fall centerpiece video, I'll put a link to that in the description box below, and I'll also link it at the end of this video in case you want to check it out. So I never really decorate much for fall. I just had a few pumpkins I would throw out here and there. So I really had to get creating this year and create some decor to add around my home. In this video, I'm going to start by sharing with you how I decorated my mantle. The mantle is one of my favorite things to decorate. Now, unfortunately, in my home, as you can see, the TV is above the mantle. Not my favorite design-wise, but in this room, it is really the best location for the TV. So I have to work around that every time I'm decorating my mantle, which makes it challenging because I have a really limited space to work with. But I'm going to share with you the things that I did create on a small scale to decorate my mantle. I do like to add banners to my mantle, especially around the holidays. Since I don't have a lot of space up top to work with, I work down by adding banners to the mantle. I even keep two 3M hooks attached to the top on each side of the mantle for easy hanging. So I pulled out the few fall items that I did have on hand and found this banner that I had never used. I believe I found it at the Target dollar spot a few years ago. It really looked like Halloween decor, but I decided I was going to make it look a little more fall-like by adding to it. I wanted to add the word fall to the banner. I'm using 4 of these wood slice ornaments, which I'm planning to use this year for some new Christmas ornament designs, but they were screaming fall to me. So they're about 4 inches in diameter. I printed out on plain copy paper circles with a fun font that spelled out fall on a tan background so it would just blend in with the wood. I just Mod Podged each letter onto the wood slices. Then I went over the top of them with another coat of Mod Podge. So easy peasy. I'll have a link in the description to my shop where you can get a free printable with 3 different font styles to choose from for the word fall. I hot glued a small clothespin that I got at Dollar Tree to the back of the wood slices pointing up so it could clip onto the banner. They were looking a little plain, so I decided to add some small burlap bows to the top. I just love burlap. I found this really cute burlap ribbon with a frayed edge at Michael's, which I wanted for the next part of this project. But for these small bows, I had to cut off the frayed edge. I just cut a small piece of ribbon and bunched it in the middle, and I tied it with matching twine and then hot glued it to the wood slice. I wanted the banner to be really full, kind of like one of those ribbon banners that's made from lots of scraps of ribbon and material. Have you ever seen one of those? That's what I was originally going to make until I found this banner laying around. I cut a strip about 6 inches long, folded it over the string on the banner, bunched it together, and tied it with matching twine. I did this all along the banner. I think it's just what it needed. I am loving this fall banner, and now I don't think Halloween when I look at it. And here is the finished banner. Oh my gosh, I love, love, love it. Next up are these cute wood pumpkins. I used a scrap 2x4 that I cut into 3 varying lengths. Now if you know me, you know I didn't measure. I just made sure I had 3 different heights. I sanded them down, giving them slightly rounded edges, and then painted them. Now don't ask me what color this is because I was using the paint I had on hand. I really hate the pumpkin color orange, so I wanted more of a burnt orange, and I tried my best to mix that color, but it kept turning out too red. So I decided to sand it down and give it a distressed look because in my opinion, distressing makes everything look better. And it really did. It toned down the red. But I still wanted to try to get it looking a little more pumpkin-like. So I found this metallic gold I had on hand and very lightly dry brushed it along all the edges and then on all sides. I just put a little bit of paint on my brush and then dabbed off most of it so there was barely any on the brush, and ever so lightly I brushed it on. It's just what it needed, and it's really cool because it looks different depending on how the light is hitting it. I found a stick in the yard, apparently my son's favorite stick, oops, and cut it into pieces for the stems of the pumpkins, and I just hot glued them to the top. And now for some embellishments. I cut 2 small pieces of twine and tied them together to kind of be like the viney part at the top of a pumpkin. I hot glued that to the stem. Then I used 2 different shades of green twine to tie around the stems. Of course, you could use ribbon here instead of twine. I could see a wide, poofy ribbon being really cute too. And by the way, I'll put a link in the description box where I got all this colored twine that keeps coming in handy for so many projects. And here's a bonus. They're reversible. On the back, I put vinyl jack-o'-lantern faces, so in a few weeks, when I add my Halloween decorations, I can just flip them around and keep using them. How cute are they? This is so easy, it's hardly a craft. These candle holders stay on my mantle year-round. I just took a white candle and tied 2 of the fake fall leaves around it and put in the candle holder just to dress it up a bit. Done. I also sprinkled the remaining artificial leaves I had all over the mantle just to add more color. I wanted to make a sign for the center of the mantle. I used a 1x6 board cut to about 36 inches. This is a piece of scrap wood that a friend of mine gave me from a leftover project, and I've been so excited to use it to make signs. I tied some twine around each edge just to give it a little extra something, then created my design to fit in between the twine in Silhouette Studio. I cut it out on ORACAL 651 matte white adhesive vinyl. I like using matte because it looks more like paint without the shine of the glossy vinyl. I'll put a link in the description to the vinyl I used. You could also paint this, but the vinyl is a really quick way to make it, and you always get a nice, clean, crisp look with the vinyl. The cool part about this sign is it's going to be reversible. Because I'm just setting this against the wall, there's no need for hanging hardware on the back, so I'm going to flip it over and put another design on the back. I haven't decided exactly what I want on the back yet, so it's still plain, but I'm thinking of putting something for Thanksgiving on the back. I don't know, what do you think I should put on the back? I am absolutely loving this next centerpiece that I'm putting on my breakfast table. I think it looks pretty high-end, like a ready-made centerpiece you would find in a store. It actually looks like I know what I'm doing with flower arrangements. For this project, I used 4 mini crates from the Dollar Tree. I stained them a dark walnut stain, but of course you could stain them or paint them any color you choose. Then I simply hot glued the sides of 2 of them together and repeated that again. Then I hot glued those on top of one another and I had my planner. So easy. The slats inside the crates make perfect places for the flower picks to sit in. Then I just arranged my flower picks in the crates. I placed my flower arrangement on a tray that I already had on my breakfast table and put these pumpkins that I found at Walmart around the tray. Of course, this is optional, but I just think it makes it look more complete. Oh, and by the way, I got my flower picks from Walmart and a couple were from the Dollar Tree that were left over from a previous project. So what do you think of these fall crafts? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. I'll be back next week with another craft DIY for you, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next video. And I put the fall centerpiece video right here for you to check out in case you missed it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.